Hey guys, what's going on? Just got done shooting some videos for my team. Hope you're having a great morning. I want to shoot a video or an episode today about guarantees. So like your guarantee when you're speaking to a prospective client and the difference between guarantees when we're selling low ticket stuff versus high ticket stuff. If you're watching this or if listening to this, you're probably not selling $20 ebooks. If you are, please stop. Anyways, Okay, so here's why this is important. In the world of marketing or selling, a guarantee is really the mitigation of risk. So if I make you a guarantee, like, let's look at a realtor. Okay, so a realtor shows up and sells your house. They don't get paid until they sell your house. So they assume all the risk. Now, you assume some risk, obviously, if there's a period of time in which you have to sell that house because maybe you're moving into a new one and it's contingent upon you selling this house. But generally, there's less risk there. Then, if the realtor came to you and said, hey, listen, give me $50,000, then I'll sell your house. Now you're assuming more of the risk yourself as opposed to the realtor. So risk reward guarantee it's always a really important thing to consider. And I believe personally that it needs to be addressed a little bit differently depending on the nature of what you're selling. Because if you're selling a $20 book, right? So in the world of like info marketing and, buy this ebook for $27. And when you do, I'm going to throw in these 10 bonuses worth, $5 million for free. And by the way, if you don't see results from this in the next 90 days, you can get your money back, right? And that's typically what a guarantee looks like in the world of direct response when we're selling information. So what that does is it really lessens the risk that the customer has because there's not enough trust built with the seller at that point. Because you're reading this from a web page, right? For the most part, no one's on the phone with you selling a $20 book. So you're reading something on a web page and maybe there's not enough trust. So now there's, number one, you can't sell something from a web page for $5,000. It's not going to happen. But we're selling, let's say, a $27 ebook. Not too sure if I trust this person. Maybe I do, whatever. Oh, and there's a 30-day or a 90-day guarantee or a lifetime guarantee. Hey, what's the worst that can happen? It doesn't work and I get my money back, right? Now, in the world of direct response, there's a lot of very aggressive copywriting, as you know, right? Like, hey, take this pill, lose 20 pounds overnight. If you don't, get your money back. Like those businesses, and I know a bunch of people in that space, good dudes and dudettes, some better than others. I don't know how some of them sleep at night. But, in some cases, like their refund rates are close to 20%. And that's very, very, very high. And that's not a business I would ever want to run. And sadly, I ran that business for a long time, not with those type of refund rates, but selling that type of way where it's like, hey, buy this thing for $47. We're going to stack all these bonuses and we give you like this amazing guarantee so that you have little to no risk. The thing with that is that is with the understanding that if someone returns a $47 product to you, it's not a big deal. And you don't have to show up that much to actually deliver the results. But I think it's flawed. I do think it's flawed. And here's why I say that. Number one, I believe it's a guarantee that is put in there in a bogus way. It's not meant to serve the customer. It's meant to bypass the trust bridge to say, hey, like you don't trust me enough, so I'm going to give you this guarantee, full well knowing that a percentage of people are going to refund this because they're not going to do the work in the first place, right? If someone buys no matter, like even if it's a $27 ebook, right, or a $100 course, if they do the work, they'll probably get a result. Most people don't get the result because they don't do the work. And then they leave like stupid reviews on Amazon saying like, hey, this didn't work. It's like, well, maybe you didn't work. Maybe that's the deal, okay? So that's when it comes to low ticket stuff, the traditional way it's done. And that's just my perspective on how I see those guarantees being played. It's proven to work. We know it works. Guarantees are super important to reverse the risk that the person or the customer has in making the purchase, okay? But what if you're selling a coaching program? Like what if you're selling something that you invest a lot of your time and energy into, where it's either $2,000, $3,000, whatever the price is, okay? Let's just say $1,000 to $5,000 for 8 weeks, 12 weeks. So a person works with you. Let's just say they invest $5,000. Now, and if $5,000 is too much of a stretch for you, it's okay. You'll get there. And $5,000 to transform someone's health is way cheaper than a $27 ebook. They're never gonna get past the first chapter in, right? We'll save that for another day. Someone invests $5,000 to work with you. You work with them very closely for 12 weeks. At the end of the 12 weeks, they're like, you know what? I want my money back. So, I mean, how would you feel if that's what happened in your business, right? You made a promise, like a specific guarantee, like, hey, if you do this program with me, I'm going to help you X, Y, and Z. If they don't get that result, then they get their money back. Now, two things. Either you have to be so certain in your process that anyone, no matter what's going on, could get a result, right? The danger of that is that most people don't, because most people get in their own way. And so what we do, and what we advise our clients to do, is we offer a 0% money back guarantee. And what that means is you don't get your money back if you work with us. It's really simple. And the reason for that is because we know our program works, right? We know our program works because if it didn't, then every single person who did it wouldn't get results. Without fail, every single one of them would not get results. But there are a percentage who do get amazing results. And when we look at, the reason I'm sharing this is because I've been doing some deep dive with my team on, our most successful clients, those who weren't as successful or didn't do anything at all, right? What are some of the commonalities so we can avoid the ones who don't do the work and get more of the ones who do. And what it comes down to is between the ears. And so as a business owner, I am not willing to take on the risk for other people's deficiencies. And what that means is if someone's going to invest with us, to work with us in our program, and then they start getting in their own way, I am not willing to work with them, invest all my time and energy, invest my team's time and energy, only several months down the road for them to be like, you know what, I want my money back because I'm not getting results, because I'm not doing the work. That's the reality. And in your coaching program, I really strongly suggest you do something similar, because unless you want to waste weeks or months of your time, energy, resources working with people who are always just ready to pull the plug, it's not going to be worth it. Because if you're bringing people into the program who are already looking for the exit door, like, hey, what's your refund policy? There is none. What's the deal? You're already looking for the exit? Listen, if someone starts working with you and in the first 2 weeks are like, I don't think this is for me. Okay, no big deal, right? You can have a conversation about that as long as it's not buyer's remorse, which happens for most people anyways. They just kind of get in, and maybe you sold them something that was unrealistic or the expectations weren't, set properly. And that's another important piece to this whole puzzle is setting the right expectations in terms of your promise, your onboarding, all that stuff. But I believe in a coaching environment, it's not about the results. It's not just about the result. It's about the person. So I'll give you an example. So we had, and this, oh my God, like this stuff grinds my gears. So we had a client earlier this year who finished our entire program, was actually a guest on our podcast, spent a lot of time coaching with our coaches and myself personally. And then at the end of the program, has the audacity, or his wife or his girlfriend did, had the audacity through his email account to ask us for a refund for the full thing. And I'm like, wow, all right, this is very interesting. Can I ask why? Oh, because of his ADHD. That's so funny, because he's helping people with ADHD, yet he is using that as an excuse to try to get his money back on this. And listen, I'm not someone who's going to send the mafia after people to chop down their legs to get money and all that kind of stuff. Like we don't run our business like that. But this was a matter of principle. And I've actually shared this in one episode a long time ago. This was a matter of principle. And I said, I will bury this guy, because this needs to be, this is an example of why you cannot offer 100% money back guarantees with your coaching program. Maybe if you want to do like a 30-day love it or leave it thing, that's fine. But beyond that, this is why. If someone, gets a result or not the full thing that they wanted or whatever it is, some people have a really interesting way of not taking responsibility for that. And so this guy decides that he's going to use ADHD as an excuse to try to get his money back. And I'm like, buddy, you're going to get buried here. So he goes, or his girlfriend or whoever was communicating through his email account, goes to the American Disabilities Act to try to pull some stunts from there, saying, hey, we got 2 lawyers who've told us based on this act that we get our money back. I'm like, first of all, we're in Canada, you're in the US, so there's no jurisdiction cross-border there. We actually called the ADA and they said, yeah, they have no grounds for this. And then our lawyer sent them an amazing letter that was like a bazooka that shot every one of their claims out of the air. It was amazing. It was so good. He's like, yeah, according to section 2.1A, you have no grounds for this. According to section 3F, you have no grounds for this. It was so good. He sent it off to them and basically said, listen, you have zero likelihood of getting anything back. And if you try, you're going to have to come up to Canada and appeal this in court, which is going to take you even more time and money. So don't even bother. Anyways, we didn't hear back from them. The reason I'm sharing that with you is because sometimes some people just need to be put in their place. And I believe in a coaching environment, it's not about just the result. It's about you helping your clients become better versions of themselves. And sometimes they have to learn an expensive lesson. And that expensive lesson is this: take responsibility for your results. Don't blame anyone else. If you went walkabout because you had some mindset issues for 2 months, don't blame the program, right? Don't blame you as the coach. That's you as an individual. That's your problem that you have to deal with. If you weren't able to do the work because you moved houses or you changed jobs, I don't care, right? And neither should you. Listen, there's a degree of compassion and empathy, right? But the reality is like, there's never a perfect time. There's never a vacuum in which nothing is happening in your life for you to do this workout or this health program now. I'm going to everything, all my ducks are in a row. Everything's lined up perfectly. Now I can commit to this. No, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Life doesn't happen like that. There's always going to be kids being born. You're being moved. You're fired. You're changing jobs. One of our clients' houses burned down the day before she joined us. She's now in our mastermind. But I promise you, for every one of her, there were probably millions who would have been like, oh, I can't do this. My house burned down, which is probably a very legitimate reason, right? So going back to the guarantee, the reason I don't offer, or the reason we offer a 0% money back guarantee is because, number one, we qualify people very rigorously on the front end to be like, listen, do you understand that this is not going to be easy? Do you understand that you're required to do the work? Are you this type of person that meets these criteria? Yeah, you told me yes? Cool, awesome. Well, if that's the case, then I have no doubts that if you do the work and if you lean in for support, you will get results. The only time you don't win at this is when you quit. Okay, the only time this doesn't work and the only time your program doesn't work for your clients is when they quit. It's not rocket science, right? If you have a health, let's just call it a weight loss program. Person does certain exercises, they do certain nutrition protocols. How is that not going to work? It's impossible for it not to work, assuming you have a track record of obviously being able to help people and, create those results. The reality is that just a lot of people don't get the results immediately that they want. So they're like, this is going to be harder than I thought. I don't want to do this. That's on them, right? That's not on you, but you have to be very clear with them up front about the journey. I don't think it's responsible to say this is going to be super easy. You're going to make tons of money or, in your case, losing a ton of weight or whatever it is. Be realistic. And I've made this mistake in the past where we may have, used examples of some of our best results as opposed to average results. And I think, part of, mitigating and managing expectations is showing people, hey, here's kind of the average of what you can expect. Not this one standout, but the average. And I think when people see that, it becomes a little more believable. Even if it decreases conversions, I think you'll just get better people in the door who are a little more realistic about what they want. So just going back to the guarantee, I'm not a huge fan of offering money back guarantees in a coaching program where you work very closely with someone, because let's just look at a couple examples in real life. You book an airline ticket, you get on the plane, you fly from Toronto to LA, as an example, and the flight is bumpy. and you don't like the food. So you get off the plane and you call the airlines and you're like, I want my money back. I didn't enjoy the ride. They're like, I don't care. It's not going to happen, right? You go to a restaurant and you have a meal and the meal is mediocre. It's okay. I mean, it's not the best. Very few people are going to say, I'm not going to pay for this. They might say, I'm never going to come back again, but very few people are going to say, I'm not going to pay for this, or I want my money back. In some cases, the business owner might give, the cost of the meal back, but it's $100. In a coaching program, you're not going to return someone $5,000 or so after working with them, blood, sweat, and tears for months. You're crazy, right? So the thing is, if people don't like that, that's fine, because you run a business however you want to run your business. You determine the law. You work with these types of people and not these types of people. Here's the way we do things. If you don't like it, you're not coming in the program. And you have to train your clients how to treat you. So letting people just off the hook and, giving them refunds halfway through your program or after it's done, even though they've, haven't shown up and done the work, I don't think that's a great way to run a business. Is it a little bit more risk on the client? 100%. Is that a good thing? I think it is. Because if someone, check this out, we all want more committed clients, right? We all want more committed clients. I've never met a coach who doesn't want more committed clients. Hey, what do you love about your best clients? Oh, they're committed to doing the work. Perfect. Well, let's look at how we can get people to commit. We can get them to pay more money and we can rob them, or not, I shouldn't say rob them, but we remove their bungee cord, which means they have no way out unless they want to lose this investment, which, by the way, they wouldn't, because this money means a lot to them. So they're actually going to show up and do the work. But the thing is, transformation is hard. It's hard. Reading a book is easy because someone invests $30 to read a book. They say they want to lose weight, but they don't. They don't. There's no commitment there, right? There's no commitment there. Person reads book or a couple chapters, doesn't do the work, whatever, I lost $30. Person invests $5,000 for the same results. They don't do the work. They don't get the results. Therefore, they lose $5,000 and get no results. Now, they can blame you, but again, I don't think that's a smart move on them because they don't learn anything. But if they take the initiative to be like, listen, this is my fault no matter what, good or bad, my results are my responsibility. They invest $5,000 with you. They understand that they're not getting their money back, which means they have to be fully committed now. And they've agreed to, like, yes, this is the time. I'm ready to do this. The likelihood they're going to get a result is so much greater. And so I really want to encourage you to think about this, because this is something that we've dealt with. This is something that we've had in place for, our HBA program for a long time. And it's something that I don't want you to get into a situation where you bring the wrong client on, they're a pain in the ass to work with, or they go rogue, then they ask for a refund, or they don't do the work, right? Like, even if they don't ask for the refund, they just don't do the work. What's the point? I don't even want the money. I tell our clients, I don't want your money. I want your results, right? It doesn't matter to me. I want you to win. It's good for you. It's good for us, right? If you win, you help your clients. So I think if you really, really set the bar a little higher in terms of qualifying people up front, again, you're not selling a widget. Hey, no big deal. You don't do it. You can send it back. We'll give you your money back plus, shipping. This is not that type of business. And so it's very, very important not to compare marketing and selling from high ticket to low ticket, because it couldn't be further from they are so far different that if you try to do what you're doing or what people do with low ticket stuff, with high ticket, it will backfire. And I'll actually do another episode to show you some of the differences. It's dramatic. And that's why it's very dangerous to model what some people do online. It's very, very dangerous to model what many people are doing online, because you have no context of their business model or understanding the nuances that go into selling things at different price levels. Okay. So I hope this makes sense for you. If it does, awesome. If you do want to work with us and you are committed to doing the work, because as I just told you, you're not getting your money back, and you want results because you're going to do the work, and we know our process works when you do the work. The only time it doesn't work is when you don't do the work and when you quit. And I can list every single one of our clients who didn't get results And to the letter, I can show you how each one of them either gave up on themselves or had issues in their mind and then just went off the deep end, okay? And all of our clients who have had results, I can show you to the letter the complete difference, right? They did the work. When things got challenging, they leaned in for support, they kept going at it, they kept making little tweaks, and eventually they cracked the code. If you're that type of person who is not willing to give up and understanding that, hey, it might not work out right away, but with the right coaching and the right guidance and the right support around you, you'll probably win. If that's of interest to you, then we should probably talk. Workwithyuri.com. Work with yuri.com. Go to that page, answer a few questions about your biz, so we have a bit more context for our conversation. And then on the next page, you can book a call to speak with us. Again, it's no high pressure. If anything, you're going to have to sell us on why we should work with you. Okay, so we'll put it that way. We're not here to high pressure you into anything because we don't want to work with everyone, right? We want to work with true experts who have something they know that's been proven to, convert on clients. An offer that's worked well, but not well enough. Maybe they're not that great at marketing or business development, and they want to get more clients and scale their coaching online. Those are the clients that we are really, really good at working with. So if that's you, then hey, let's have a chat. Assuming you want to grow your business and get clients in a way that doesn't involve you spending hours upon hours posting on social media and trolling Facebook groups and that kind of stuff. Anyways, workwithyuri.com. Go there now. Book in your time to speak with us. And we'd love to see if we can help you out. All right. Have an amazing day. I'll talk to you later. Bye.